Back when he was a youngin', he always dreamed of becoming a man people would turn to. He was always running to help his family and others. He would come to their rescue. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, the red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. That truck seems so high off the ground. He looked up at Mom and said, "I wanna ride the big red truck someday." He's on shift with his brothers, away from his family and others. The days have turned into years. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. His world was sometimes numbing, tending to people's pain and fears. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, the red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. He gets that rush when the bells sound. And with hard work and luck, he drives a big red truck every third day. 29 years of service, he savored all those memories. He went through a lot of heartache and cheer. He was in a fire last Friday. He saved a child in the hallway. He let that little girl breathe his air. The dark smoke cut right through him, and that little girl won't get to meet him. She can only thank him in her prayers. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. Today his body will go underground. His brother's walking behind him. He's going home to stay. He rides a big red truck the last time today.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Rob Olson and I'm the chaplain with the Edgewater Fire Department. Today we gather in memory of our fallen brother, driver engineer David Spencer. As we begin our service today, would you pray with me? Gracious God, I thank you that, Lord, that we can come to you in the midst of times of pain and hurt and remembrance. Lord, I thank you that we can come together and we can honor those, Lord, who have served. Lord, I pray that you would bless our time as we remember this morning. Amen. Amen. At this time, I'd like to invite Stephanie to the podium.
My name is Stephanie Bennett. I am one of Dave's cousins, and the family has asked me to share today. And it's my privilege and honor to be here. You know, in the midst of the moments of our lives, there can be that fraction of a second that creates in one the thought, how did I get here? And grief slows that second down, and it feels as if it lasts much longer. And since July 26th, we have found ourselves in an extended moment of asking the question, how did we get here? It was just last month in July that I was rushing around my own home in West Virginia, frantically packing for a vacation. A call came and I grabbed my phone, and it was Dave and Deb. They would be traveling through West Virginia. Could we all get together? We spoke for maybe 7 or 8 minutes, leaving the in-depth questions of our lives to a picnic that would happen in a handful of days. I am so thankful for that brief time of conversation, and I wish I would not have left questions unasked, because the next phone call about Dave was to let me know of our loss. How did we get here? So on that vacation that I went on, we were traveling through, of all places, Connecticut. And it was in Connecticut that I first got to know Dave. And I'm trying really hard today to say Dave because I've always called him David forever. But I know most of you say Dave, so I'm trying. But it was in Connecticut that we first got to know each other. And my poor family had to hear all those stories because I was gearing up for us to be together so I could share. But it's those memories of cousins in the summer playing King of the Hill from a floating raft, challenging one another, playing cards, laughing, and sometimes, as you can imagine, occasionally being mad at one another, that cemented our lifetime as family. Now on this lake, there was this floating raft within a short swimming distance, and I can remember that we would often play that game, King of the Hill, and as you can imagine, Dave was really good at it. And I could never knock him off of that raft. And Terry and I would have a plan. I would sacrifice myself and go into the water with Dave. She would claim the raft, and then I would join her. And I remember the plan. But what I remember most is that the plan never worked. Because all I had to do was go into the water with him. But he never went in with me. He always stayed on the raft. Every time, and I would be the one that ended up in the water. You know, I miss those days. We didn't realize then how life would take us. We didn't realize then that there would be this moment, that we would do anything to see Dave on a platform in the middle of the lake claiming his place as King of the Hill. We're never ready for these moments, and we're not ready for it now. It has been a lifetime in so many ways since those carefree days on the lake in Connecticut. And from a King of the Hill defender, Dave became a put his life on the line to be the aid for someone in need. His work was his life. Okay, so it wasn't completely his life. You all know that other part that maybe his preacher cousin here doesn't know, and that's okay. But this chosen vocation, or maybe it was a vocation, whether he chose it or it chose him, pumped full of adrenaline and stress, focus, making split-second decisions to help another. Dave's chosen vocation defined him and shaped his character. In the scriptures of the Christian tradition, there are words of Jesus that says, "No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends." Laying down one's life for another. While there are dramatic stories, and some of you have those dramatic stories about Dave, there are also the not so dramatic but still profound ways that Dave would lay down his life for a friend. There are stories of how, when in the midst of the struggles of life, Dave was there. There are stories of how your feeling of safety and security was amplified because Dave stood by your side. There are stories of stupid, hilarious moments, and even then you knew Dave had your back. No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. So back to those days of childhood. I have an embarrassing moment from my teenage years, as we all do. It happened on that lake. After a fit of being mad, and I'm not sure if it was Dave or Dawn who made me mad, but I know it was one of them. And I spoke my piece as only a 13-year-old can do, and I turned and dramatically slammed open that sliding screen door off the back deck and proceeded to slam into the glass door that was closed that I didn't know was there. It ruined my dramatic exit. And over the years, I had convinced myself that I was the only one who remembered that day. And about 10 years ago, spending time with family at Dawn's house, Dave looked at me, and with that smile and a mischievous grin, he pointed his bottle at me and said, "Steph, do you remember that time?" And he regaled it from his perspective of what a fool I had made of myself. And we laughed, and we laughed, and we laughed. You know, I wish that story had vanished into the recesses of time. I wish Dave didn't remember that. But then, really, no, I'm glad he remembered, because Dave laughed. And unlike when it happened, I was able to laugh with him. Let's face it, there are times that life is stupid, and we're stupid sometimes, and times we make choices we wouldn't make again. But dwelling on the stupid doesn't get us anywhere. I'm glad now that when I think of that moment, it's not the embarrassment that sneaks in, but it's laughing years later with my cousin Dave. And I'm glad he remembered, because you see, that memory was safe with him. I'm guessing that many here today have similar memories of a memory that is safe with Dave. Some of what we remember with Dave will bring us laughter and peace. Other memories, not so much maybe. But all together, they make up what it means to have a life that is shared together in all of its complexities. While today in our reflection and our focus is on the life of Dave Spencer, it's a moment to reflect on how we go from this moment to our next moments. With Dave's memory in us, I think of the words about Dave that have been shared and spoken and written, and some of those I'm going to share now to remind us and myself and all of us how we can best remember Dave. I've heard spoken and I've seen written, Dave had a smile that would light up a room. So perhaps let us smile more. Many of you carry stories of Dave stepping in to help without hesitation. So may we be generous with others. Stories of being shared of Dave living life, the good, the bad, the joys, the struggles, and finding home and love. Wherever we find ourselves, let us not give up. We hear stories and see pictures and memories of Dave enjoying life, enjoying friends, enjoying adventure. Yeah, we need to do that because life is short. No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Laying down his life, his time, didn't diminish Dave, it defined Dave. So let us remember that being generous with others doesn't diminish us. It defines us, and may we be willing to risk ourselves in that same way. And in living life and keeping the laughter and being there in times of need and finding love in our family and friends, that may very well be the best way to remember David Spencer.
The thing that stuck out is Steph. Do you remember that time? Have you ever considered what brings a memory to your mind? Maybe a scent, a smell, maybe an experience, maybe a picture. If you were here early, we saw lots of pictures. Pictures can birth memories in us. Can you think of a picture that reminds you of a specific time and a place in your life? I have a lot of pictures in my mind. I can't remember the first time that I saw it, but I remember a picture of 3 firefighters on the top of the rubble at 9/11 with an American flag. I was not there, but the picture just brings to mind that you can see the dust, you can see the rubble, and you can imagine the overwhelming feelings related to the destruction upon which they stood. Pictures like that can spark memories. They can even inspire us. Sometimes the pictures aren't necessarily ones that we can touch or that we can look at on the internet, but rather they're pictures in our mind's eye, pictures in our personal memory. Just like the pictures we might see from difficult times in history, and in cases like this, with certain memories, remembering can be difficult. Steph, do you remember that time? Remembering can be difficult. The difference between the pictures that you might see that others took is these pictures in our mind's eye were personal experiences. They were close to us. Maybe you have a picture of a first day on a new job. Maybe the first day as a parent. Maybe you can still feel the nervousness even that you felt about that day. Maybe you can recall the first day of retirement. No more thoughts about work. No more stresses about what might be due to the boss. Maybe for the first time you can wake up after a full night's sleep. Maybe there's a picture in your mind's eye of somebody who went above and beyond the call of duty. They did outside of their job description for you in serving you. Maybe you can remember a specific ride, a motorcycle ride, or a holiday season with family. Maybe you have those memories in your mind or those pictures in your mind of your time with Dave. For those of you that knew him, I want you just to think for a moment. Can you pull out a picture, a memory with Dave? If so, I want you just to hold on to that for a few minutes. And if not, that's okay. We'll have a minute here to give you that chance to do that. The heart of what I get to do as a chaplain with the Edgewater Fire Department is based on time spent with people. Which brings me to my memory. I can remember sitting at the table at Station 55, eating lunch, probably on a Monday, because that's the time I typically get over there, with Dave. Just laughing. Spending time together in the same room over a meal. I can remember riding in the back of the truck as we drove throughout the city to different emergencies or just running errands, getting food at Publix or Winn-Dixie as he drove. Dave was a driver engineer. He drove that behemoth vehicle that you see wandering around the streets with precision and care as we navigated some of the tight roads of the neighborhoods here in Edgewater. He mentored others who would come behind him. He lived a dream that so many kids who watch the fire trucks go up and down the roads might dream in their lives. And so we remember. We remember his service. We remember his personality traits. We remember. The theme of remembrance is a theme that is seen throughout the pages of the Bible. There's a remembrance of the faithfulness that God demonstrates to the nation of Israel as they crossed into the promised land in the Old Testament. And then there's the teaching of Jesus. It starts off like this. On the night that he was betrayed, he took the cup and the bread, and he said, "As often as you do this in remembrance of me." The idea behind that teaching was, as often as you come together to celebrate communion, as often as you come together to do this, do so in remembrance of the sacrifice that he made. So we come together today in remembrance of Dave Spencer. It's likely that many of you have attended various memorial services in your lifetime. It's likely that you will attend more. But today, we remember Dave. As often as you gather in these uniforms, as often as you gather in places that you come together to remember those who have given time, those who have sacrificed for you, we remember. And today, that person is Dave Spencer. We don't just come to remember, but we come also because Dave meant something to each of us. I want you to think back to that moment now, what you remember most about him. But here's why I want to tweak it a little bit. I want to encourage you to think about something that you remember that's going to bring a smile to your face. You see, friendships can be challenging at times, but they can also be wonderful. Friends are the people that we spend time with doing the things that we love. But just as friendships can be wonderful experiences, they come at a cost. The cost today is the grief that you feel at the loss of your friend, at the loss of your family member. Those who travel outside of these walls right now up and down US 1 didn't know Dave. They don't have to deal with the loss that we each do today. We have to work through the loss of our fellow firefighter. We have to work through the loss of our friend, work through the loss of our family member, work through the loss of Dave Spencer. You see, there is loss mentioned throughout the pages of Scripture, but there is something else that I want to hone in on. There's community and there's hope. When we gather together this past Monday to talk about our experience here, I was listening to Debbie tell us about those who might come today. She was sharing about how Dave loved to ride his motorcycle and that there would be those who would come on their motorcycles in honor of Dave today. And so, as I look out here, I see many different things. I see different communities. I see many different uniforms represented. I see his friends that came in on their motorcycles. I see family members. There's so many different communities that are represented here today. Some of whom come from a long distance even. There's community. The hope that comes through the gathering of community is a hope that you're not alone in your grief. As I think about my experience with community, like you, I have been, and even now, get the opportunity to be part of different communities in my life. And for me, the presence of God is another level of comfort that stands ready to come alongside of me in the community. It's his words that remind me that he will never leave me or forsake me. And his invitation is the same for each of us here today. Each of you represents a different community to which Dave belonged. And as you navigate this loss, there might be times that you have to lean on each other. Remembering can be difficult when we're dealing with the loss of a friend or a family member. I don't promise that the journey that you're on today will be easy. We might remember something because of a picture. We might remember something because of a favorite location that you drive by, or all of a sudden you walk into a restaurant and there's a scent or a smell coming through. Or even remembering can be difficult. It's important to remember. Memories can bring honor to the person that we lost. Dave Spencer was an important part of our lives. He was an important part of what we did. Let me pray. Gracious God, we thank you that we can come and remember. Lord, I thank you for each person here who's made the decision to come and take this time to remember their friend, their colleague, their family. Lord, I pray that as we remember and as we think about those memories, Lord, that you would bring us comfort. Lord, that we would lean on each other. Lord, we pray all these things in your holy name. Amen. Amen. The men and the women of today's fire service are confronted with a more dangerous work environment than ever before. We're forced to continually change our strategies and our tactics to accomplish our tasks. Our methods may change, but our goals remain the same as they were in the past: to save lives, to protect property, sometimes at a terrible cost. This is what we do. This is our chosen profession. This is the tradition of the firefighter. The fire service of today is ever-changing, but is steeped in traditions 200 years old. One such tradition is the sound of a bell. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the bell that signaled the beginning of the day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which summoned those brave souls to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizen. And when the fire was out and the alarm had come to an end, it was the bell that signaled to all the completion of the call. When a firefighter had died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it was the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. We utilize these traditions as symbols, which reflect honor and respect on those who have given so much and who have served so well. To symbolize the devotion that these brave souls had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of our comrades' duties and that they will be returning to quarters. And so, to those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their tasks completed, their duties well done. To our comrades, their last alarm, they're going home.
of driver engineer Dave Spencer with the Edgewater Fire Department. Roll has been taken and Dave Spencer has failed to answer. The bell has been struck for his last alarm. May the sun shine upon his path, may the wind always be at his back, and may the Lord guide him in the palm of his hand until we meet again. Communications clear, 11:32.
Thank you. You're welcome to be seated for a moment. I'm going to close with the firefighter's prayer, and afterward I'm going to ask that all uniformed personnel please make their way to the back. But let me speak these words. When I'm called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me to embrace a little child before it's too late, or save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert, to hear the weakest shout, and quickly and effectively to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling, give the best of me, guard my neighbor, protect his property. And if according to your will, I have to lose my life, bless with your protecting hand my loving family from strife. All uniformed personnel, please would make their way to the back to form a corridor. So now, as you go from this place, take time to remember Dave. Take advantage of those around you that are part of your community. And remember, you're not alone. Amen.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you fire and rain now.
Driving back home down 246, you almost hit a deer and you end up in a ditch. You can't pull forward and you can't back out. You're sitting there thinking what you gonna do now. You'd be a little nervous if the cops showed up, cause you drank a little, maybe just a little too much. Waiting on a tow truck takes too long. It's 2 in the morning, who you gonna call? Friends, damn good friends. 7 minutes later they're pulling you out. You know the ones I'm talking about. Friends, damn good friends. You can count them all on one of your hands. You got 100 buddies, a couple of damn good friends.
So you're all shooting pool on a Saturday night. This little brunette keeps giving you the eye. So you buy her a drink before too long. You're out on the floor in the middle of a song. About that time a wreck shows up. He's staring you down, getting all bowled up. He's a big old jacked up SOB.
That's alright, he's about to meet your friends. Damn good friends.
A few seconds later he's starting to see it ain't 1-on-1, it's 1-on-3. Friends, damn good friends. they do it for you, 'cause you do it for them. You got 100 buddies and a couple of damn good friends.
They're there even when you don't see them as much, 'cause you moved away or you're feeling love. But the winter tucks when you're saying your vows.
And if you crash and burn, you can crash on the couch. Friends, damn good friends.
They love you like a brother, there ain't no doubt.
You know the ones I'm talking about. Friends, damn good friends.
You can count them all on one of your hands. You got 100 buddies
And a couple of damn good friends.
Oh, damn good friend.
I wish girls you love never gave back diamond rings. I wish every porch had a swing. Wish kids still learn to say sir and ma'am, how to shake a hand. I wish every state had a Birmingham. I wish everybody knew all the words to Mama Tried. I wish Monday mornings felt just like Friday nights. And I wish even cars had truck beds, and every road was named Copperhead, and coolers never run out of cold Bud Light. And I wish high school home teams never lost, and back road drinking kids never got caught. And I wish the price of gas was low and cotton was high. I wish honky-tonks didn't have no closing time. And I wish grandpas never died. I wish Sundays on the creek bank would never end. Wish I could learn to drive again. Wish the first time 17 she was my everything kiss in a Chevrolet could happen every day. I wish everybody overseas was gonna make it home. I wish country music still got played on country radio. And I wish even cars had truck beds, and every road was named Copperhead, and coolers never run out of cold Bud Light. And I wish high school home teams never lost, and back road drinking kids never got caught. And I wish the price of gas was low and cotton was high. And I wish honky-tonks didn't have no closing time. And I wish grandpas never died. Never died. And I wish good dogs never got gray and old. I wish farms never got sold. And I wish even cars had truck beds, and every road was named Copperhead, and coolers never run out of cold Bud Light. I wish high school home teams never lost, and back road drinking kids never got caught. And I wish the price of gas was low and cotton was high. And I wish honky-tonks didn't have no closing time. And I wish grandpas never died. His grandpa's never died.
Back when he was a youngin', he always dreamed of becoming man people would turn to. He was always running to help his family and others. He would come to their rescue. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, the red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. That truck seemed so high off the ground. He looked up at Mom and said, "I wanna ride the big red truck someday." He's on shift with his brothers, away from his family and others. The days have turned into years. He wouldn't trade it for nothing. His world was sometimes numbing, tending to people's pain and fears. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, the red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. He gets that rush when the bells sound. And with hard work and luck, he drives a big red truck every third day. 29 years of service, he savored all those memories. He went through a lot of heartache and cheer. He was in a fire last Friday. He saved a child in the hallway. He let that little girl breathe his air. The dark smoke cut right through him, and that little girl won't get to meet him. She can only thank him in her prayers. Here it comes down the road, the sirens scream through town, red lights flashing all aglow. Everyone knows that sound, the sound of help on the way. Today his body will go underground. His brother's walking behind him. He's going home to stay. He rides a big red truck the last time today.
doctors and the lawyers don't think it's funny that they're living next door to white trash with money. Well, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. I quit school early and I never went back. The rich kids all looked down on me. They said as good as them was something that I'd never be. Started playing my guitar to earn a few bucks, singing my songs to a room full of drunks. The record man heard me down at Kitty's bar. Said, come on to Nashville and I'll make you a star. Well, I might have been born just poor white trash, but I sold 1 million records, made a little cash. The doctors and the lawyers don't think it's funny that they're living next door to white trash with money. I bought a big house on top of the hill, a brand new Harley and a coupe de ville. The neighbors all cried when I moved in. It seems real estate's cheaper than it's ever been. Now the radio plays all the railroad songs. I lay around the pool and listen all day long. This country boy's life sure turned out swell. If the neighbors don't like it, they can all go to, well, I might have been born just poor white trash, but I sold 1 million records, made a little cash. The doctors and the lawyers don't think it's funny that they're living next door to white trash with money. That they're living next door to white trash with money. Yeah, life's just fine for me and my honey. We're happy just being white trash with money. Say, honey, what do you think about a couple of pink flamingos out in the front yard? No. Well, I guess my lawn jockey's out of the question.
If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put off all the things I had to do. I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. Now what I'd give for one more day with you. 'Cause there's a wound here in my heart where something's missing, and they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in a place where all your wounds have been erased, and knowing yours are healed is healing mine. The only scars in heaven that won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now. I know the road you walked was anything but easy. You picked up your share of scars along the way. Oh, but now you're standing in the sun. You fought your fight and your race is run. The pain is all 1,000,000 miles away. The only scars in heaven that won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, And all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven, yeah, are on the hands that hold you now. Not a day goes by that I don't see you. You live on in all the better parts of me. Until I'm standing with you in the sun, I'll fight this fight in this race I'll run, until I finally see what you can see. Oh, the only scars in heaven won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, and even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now.
It's perfect outside, it's like God let me dial up the weather. Got the whole crew here, I ain't seen some of them in forever. It's one of those never forget it, better stop and take it in kind of scenes. Everything's just right, yeah, except for one thing. You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, and cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year. It's one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. You should be here. You'd be taking way too many pictures on your phone, showing them off to everybody that you know back home, and even some you don't. Yeah, they say now you're in a better place, and I would be too if I could see your face. You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year. It's one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. Oh, you should be here, you'd be loving this, you'd be freaking out, you'd be smiling. Yeah, I know you'd be all about what's going on right here, right now. God, I wish somehow you could be here. Oh, you should be here. Yeah, this is one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. Oh, you should be here. You should be here.
Knowing you probably got your toes in the sand at a bar on a beach in the sun somewhere. Knowing you got something cold in your hand, chatting up a stranger without a care. Knowing you that you're still wild and free, and knowing you're probably way over me. But God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. But I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you. Knowing you was a free fall from 100,000 feet, when you don't even care where you land. And knowing you was the kind of rush that you feel when you finally get to sit in with a band. And knowing you're still a tumbleweed, I only wish that you would tumble back to me. But God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. But I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good knowing you. Knowing you're still a tumbleweed, I only wish that you would tumble back to me. 'Cause God, we were so alive. I was a kid on a carnival ride, holding my breath till the moment when you were gonna leave me too soon. I'd do it all over, 'cause damn, it was good. I'd do it all over, damn, it was good knowing you. Every day I drive to work across Flint River Bridge, 100 yards from the spot where me and Grandpa fished. There's a piece of his old fruit stand on the side of Sawmill Road. He'd be there peeling peaches if it was 20 years ago. And what I wouldn't give to ride around in that old truck with him. If heaven wasn't so far away, I'd pack up the kids and go for the day. Introduce them to their grandpa, watch them laugh at the way he talked. Find my long-lost cousin John, the one we left back in Vietnam. Show him a picture of his daughter now. She's a doctor and he'd be proud. Tell him we'd be back in a couple of days. In the rearview mirror, we'd all watch him wave. Yeah, losing them wouldn't be so hard.
take if heaven wasn't so far away. I'd hug all three of those girls we lost from the class of '99. And I'd find my bird dog Bo, take him hunting one more time. I asked Hank why he took those pills back in '53, and Janice to sing the second verse of me and Bobby McGee. Sit on a cloud and visit for a while. It'd do me good just to see them smile. If heaven wasn't so far away, I'd pack up the kids and go for the day. Introduce them to their grandpa, watch them laugh at the way he talked. Find my long lost cousin John, the one we left back in Vietnam. Show him a picture of his daughter now. She's a doctor and he'd be proud. Tell him we'd be back in a couple of days. In the rearview mirror, we'd all watch him wave. Yeah, losing them wouldn't be so hard to take if heaven wasn't so far. If heaven wasn't so far. If heaven wasn't so far away. So far away. So far away. Sing my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go, broken halos that used to shine. Angels come down from the heavens just to help us on our way. Come to teach us, then they leave us, and they find some other soul to save. Sing my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go, broken halos that used to shine. Broken halos that used to shine. Don't go looking for the reasons. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. They belong to the by and by. Sing my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go, broken halos that
back with you as soon as I can. Thank you and God bless.
Got the news on Friday morning, but a tear I couldn't find. You showed me how I'm supposed to live, and now you showed me how to die. I was lost till Sunday morning. I woke up to face my fear. While writing you this goodbye song, I found a tear. I'm gonna miss that smile. I'm gonna miss you, my friend. Even though it hurts the way it ended up, I'd do it all again. So play it sweet in heaven, 'cause that's right where you wanna be. I'm not crying 'cause I feel so sorry for you, I'm crying for me. I got up and dialed your number, and your voice came on the line with that old familiar message I'd heard 1,000 times. It just said, sorry that I missed you, leave a message and God bless. I know you think I'm crazy, but I had to hear your voice, I guess. I'm gonna miss that smile, I'm gonna miss you, my friend. Even though it hurts the way it ended up, I'll do it all again. So play it sweet in heaven, 'cause that's right where you wanna be. I'm not crying 'cause I feel so sorry for you, I'm crying for me. So play your upside down, left-handed, backwards bass guitar. I'll see you on the other side, superstar. I'm gonna miss that smile, I'm gonna miss you, my friend. Even though it hurts the way it ended up, I'd do it all again. So play it sweet in heaven, 'cause that's right where you wanna be. I'm not crying 'cause I feel so sorry for you, I'm crying for me. I'm still crying, I'm crying for me. I'm still crying.
Last night I had a crazy dream.
wish was granted just for me, it could be for anything. I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day. First thing I do is pray for time to crawl. I'd unplug the telephone, keep the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do with one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day. Leave me wishing still for one more day. Leave me wishing still for one more day.